Hello, welcome to CL's YT channel for MBA aspirants. We are on a must do RC sets, RC practice that will help you ace the RC section of CAT, and you will all do well if you keep the basics of reading comprehension in mind when you are given a passage. And today, on popular demand, I have chosen a passage on philosophy. Most of you said, ma'am, we want something tougher. What I've done is I've chosen a passage on philosophy which is not ridiculously tough. For practice, you don't have to work on passages which are very, very tough. Then the whole point is gone. The whole point is understanding the main point, working on your speed. So I've chosen a philosophy passage. It is on philosophy, but it is not the very difficult one. You will understand the main point. So when you are reading this passage, I will give you about 45, about a minute per slide. After you finish reading it, I will summarize the passage for you. So since once I summarize, you have to find out if you are summarizing in a similar manner, capturing the main points. Now, in the exam, as I said, you have to get into this habit so that you remember what you're reading, you understand the author's main point. Most questions would be centered around only a part of the passage. So you don't have to process the entire passage. You have to read the entire passage. Do not skip anything. But when you are restating in your own words, trying to remember, trying to understand what the author has said, that is where you only restate the author's main point. If there is a question on any specific detail, you can always refer back to the passage. Right? So, shall we start? Okay, your time starts now. I'll give you a minute. Please read the passage. Each slide for a minute. We'll go to the next slide. I'll show this to you for a little less than a minute because here the matter is less than the first one. All right. Okay. So now let me summarize the passage for you. In the philosophy of perception, direct realism and indirect realism present opposing views. So there is a philosophy of perception, one which deals with, looks into the idea of perception. There are two opposing views. One is direct realism, the other is indirect realism. Direct realism posits, states that we directly perceive external objects, such as seeing a tree out of the window. In contrast, indirect realism argues that we only perceive mental representation of the objects. We are not perceiving the objects as they are. but we are perceiving the mental representation, the mental image of the object that is there. Our senses are providing ideas or data to the mind, and what we see is what the mind determines. While direct realism may seem more intuitive, indirect realism and indirect realism difference between direct realism and indirect realism. Second, philosopher MacDonald suggests that direct realists and indirect realists may disagree on the underlying mechanics of perception. How do you perceive a thing? Direct realists say you see an object. Indirect realists, you see the mental representation of an object. You're not seeing the object, you're seeing the object as your mind makes you see it. McDonald says, look, they may disagree on the underlying mechanism of perception, but they share an agreement. Both would agree, affirm the statement, I see a tree when looking out of the window. Both will agree with this part. I see a tree. What does that mean? On that, there is a difference. This common ground indicates that their disagreement does not pertain their disagreement does not pertain to observable facts. So it's not the facts themselves that they disagree about, but the interpretation of those facts. What are they disagreeing about? Not what they are seeing, not the facts, but the interpretation of the facts. McDonald emphasizes that there is no empirical test. Like science, you have tests in the lab, observable tests. There is no empirical test to determine which view is correct. Both perspectives align with the same perceptual experience. Therefore, she posits that, so basically, she argues that philosophical theories differ fundamentally from scientific theories. In scientific theories, empirical tests are done and you confirm what you have done. But philosophical theories are different because scientific theories can be tested and verified. Philosophical theories cannot be. Instead, she posits that philosophy is more about providing new expressions for familiar facts rather than discovering new ones. Science discovers new facts, philosophy provides new expression or interpretation of those facts. This perspective draws parallels between philosophy and the arts. So, MacDonald says that there is a parallel. Philosophy is like the arts, suggesting that philosophical inquiry can illuminate aspects of human experience in a manner akin to literature and poetry. Philosophical inquiry can help enrich human experience in the same way that literature or poetry does, not the way that science does. Got it? So, second paragraph. In this light, that philosophy is similar to arts and literature, MacDonald contends that the value of philosophy lies in its ability to enlarge our understanding of life. It's not discovering new facts of our life, it's helping us look at it differently. So it enlarges our understanding of life. She gives two very nice examples. For example, Shakespeare's Othello provides reflection on jealousy. When you see Othello, then you start thinking. It's understanding, enlarging your understanding of jealousy in life. While when you're looking at romantic poetry, the romantic poets talked about humanity's connection to nature, man's connection to nature. So you will reflect on that. So your understanding of that aspect increases. Same way, philosophy also does that to your understanding. These words amplify specific facets of experience, encouraging audiences to consider them more deeply. Whether it's poetry and nature or jealousy, you are, when you look at these, when you read such poetry or read such plays of Shakespeare, you are left thinking about it. Philosophy does the same thing, it enlarges your understanding of life. Got it? Next, McDonald's analysis marks a departure from the scientific approach to philosophy championed by Bertrand Russell. So, this is one way that McDonald differs from Russell. Russell wanted or emphasized on a scientific approach to philosophy. He, in fact, was always expressed concern that philosophical preferences could lack criteria for validation, because you can't validate philosophical theory. What will happen? So, what will happen is it will lead to subjective choices among thinkers, and that was Russell's greatest concern about philosophy, that philosophical preferences cannot be validated. So, there will be subjective choices among thinkers. This was his concern. In contrast, MacDonald asserts that it is this subjectivity of choices among thinkers which is inherent in all philosophical theories. Each philosophical theory appeals to different temperaments. So there's nothing wrong if there is a subjective choice among thinkers. The subjectivity is inherent in philosophical theories. So depending on what your temperament is, you choose a subjective philosophical theory that appeals to you. Ultimately, her philosophical stance illustrates that philosophical discourse can enrich our understanding of experiences, much like art and literature. Theories may tell competing stories about the same fact, reflecting. So, philosophical theories will tell you different, competing stories about the same fact, but they reflect diverse human perspectives. They don't reflect objective truth, they just reflect perspectives. Thus, philosophy serves a vital role in expanding our conceptual horizons, revealing the richness of human thought and experience. So, it expands your conceptual horizons. It enriches the horizons of human thought and experience. Clear, easy, not at all difficult. Question 1. What is the main theme of the passage? Let's quickly go through the options and decide which is the main theme of the passage. Philosophical theories provide diverse interpretations of shared experiences. Philosophical theory are crucial to enriching our understanding of life and art. Philosophical theories are intuitive and unscientific but deeply enriching. Philosophy offers diverse perspectives and definitive truths. All right. Let's start with D. Diverse perspectives, but he didn't say definitive truth. It is not aiming to show you objective truths. D can be easily eliminated. Philosophical theories are intuitive, they are not necessarily scientific. They enrich human experiences. That again expand your horizons, right? So this part is only telling you what are philosophical theories like, but don't really, this doesn't capture the author's main point of what philosophical theories really do, right? So this is partially correct. All right, what does deeply enriching means? Enrich your thought, enrich your concepts. Those are all not given, right? In you interpret uh, experiences differently. So C is close, one of the points made in the passage, but not the main thing. Philosophical theories are crucial to enriching our understanding of life, similar to literature and art, not life and art. So this aspect makes it wrong. Philosophical theories provide diverse interpretation of shared experiences. True, this is the main point, that there's diverse interpretations. Perceptions are the same, you see the right thing, but there are different interpretations of the same thing that you're watching. Okay, they are intuitive, they explain a lot of things, like in indirect realists will tell you, explain hallucinations. So diverse interpretations, different ways, different perceptions, different interpretations of life, and in the process they enrich your life, expand your life, enrich or expand your understanding of experiences of life. Therefore A is the correct answer. Second, which of the following inferences is valid based on the information given in the passage? All right, let's look at the options. The objectivity of philosophical theories trump over the subjective elements. Some philosophical theories are superior to others in terms of the insights they provide. Philosophical theories are subjective and reflect individual temperaments. The value of philosophy is absolute and independent of its ability to influence us. All right, let's go back to this. Does the author say that philosophical theories are objective? No, McDonald says that they are about interpreting facts rather than discovering new facts, and the aim is not to show objective truth. Also, McDonald say subjectivity is inherent to philosophical theories. Therefore, A is cannot be inferred. Some philosophical theories are superior to others. No, they are different. But the author doesn't say which is superior, whether direct realist, indirect realist, who is superior to others. We do not know because the passage hasn't mentioned or implied anything. Philosophical theories are subjective, they reflect individual temperaments. Correct. The value, let's go back to the part of the passage where that has been said. Here, right? Philosophical theories are subjective and appeal to different temperaments. Therefore, subjective and reflect individual temperaments is correct. The value of philosophy is absolute, he did not say. Depends, independent. It depends on, it's not independent of its ability. The value of philosophy on us is that it helps us expand our understanding. Okay, so it's neither absolute nor independent. Its value, if the last line or somewhere it says, its value lies in, the value of philosophy lies in its ability to enlarge our understanding of life. So it is not independent, it is not absolute. Its value lies in its ability to enlarge our understanding of life. All right. So, this question 3 we finished, right? Huh. Sorry. Which question were we doing? We finished this. Are subjective, the value of philosophy is absolute and independent. This is wrong. They are subjective and reflective. Okay? All right. Which of the following is true about McDonald's theory of philosophy? McDonald's theory. You know what is McDonald's theory? Direct realists and indirect realists share the same perceptual experiences and interpretations of that experience. Philosophical theories are scientific theories based on empirical tests. Philosophy conveys information in a unique and enriching manner. The value of philosophy is akin to that of art, literature, and poetry. First one, direct share the same perceptual experiences is correct, but they differ in the interpretation. So A is wrong. They are unscientific. You can't say they are scientific. They cannot be empirically tested. Now we do. It does not. Its main purpose is not to convey interpret information, right? Its main thing is to look at facts in a different way. Okay, therefore this is not true. But the at McDonald's philosophy, the core of McDonald's philosophy is it is similar to art and literature or poetry. In what way? It increases or expands our understanding of life in the same way that art, literature, and poetry doesn't tell you new things, just enriches your experience, enriches your understanding. Like art, literature, and poetry help you think deeply about aspects like jealousy or nature. Similarly, value of philosophy also helps you understand experiences and understand life. Therefore, D is the correct answer. Which of the following best describes the author's style of writing? For the style of writing, how does the author present his facts? Okay, he first draws a distinction between direct and indirect. realists, right? After that, he tells you what is McDonald's theory in detail. After that, he tells you how McDonald differed from Russell. Correct? So uh, is it descriptive? Is it abstruse? Is it analytical, or is it discursive? It's not descriptive. Well, it does tell you about the theory, but it goes into it. This is what direct realist think, this is what indirect realist think. So it is not the perception, but the interpretation of the perception. So the whole, and the author doesn't give any of his personal views. Therefore, there is description, but there is also analysis. Therefore, descriptive is not correct. Abstruse means hard to understand, cannot be further from the truth, because the passage is a clear elucidation of McDonald's philosophy of perception. It is analytical, it deeply explanatory, and not very logical, is discursive. That's not there. Therefore, C is the right answer. Got it? There could be a lot more questions on this. Like, for example, what is the one main difference between McDonald and on what point did McDonald and Russell differ on the issue of subjectivity? Russell thought subjectivity in philosophy is a negative. He was concerned about it, while McDonald said it's inherent, and that is the core of philosophical theory. It appeals to different temperaments because subjectivity is inherent. All right, so McDonald has a positive view of the subjectivity of philosophy, while Russell was worried about it. The other one could be why has the example of Shakespeare or romantic poetry been given? To tell you how philosophy enlarges your understanding of life. Okay, not to say to show the similarity between philosophy and literature. Okay, to show how it works on you the same way that art and literature work on you. Okay, that would be the answer. And then there would be some questions, if there is one on what does the author there may be some assumption questions here, some conclusion questions can be asked. But the questions I have asked go to the core, main theme, tone and style. Tone is objective. The author just tells you this is what McDonald says, this is what this says, this is what Russell says. All right. So I hope you enjoyed that passage. Uh, until we see you next time, this is bye bye and thank you.